The movie begins with a legend of the reborn ghost of the battlefield, an ancient Japanese folklore character who got the name Ghost because he has fought many battles and comes back after dying. We see a jeep arriving at a building, and a group of soldiers disembark, having reached the military training center. They are undergoing training for a mission to hunt down a skilled soldier known as Ghost. Their plan is to divide into many groups and surround and attack Ghost, as facing him alone is considered a death wish, but no soldier can stop an attack coming from all directions. Initially, the role of Ghost is assigned to one of the soldiers for training purposes. He is inside the building. The arriving soldiers enter the building, proceed as per plan, and divide into groups. The instructor has a computer, and from it he watches all the soldiers and their movements. Team 1 goes into a hallway, and the instructor can see Ghost on the computer standing in a hall behind them. But as the Ghost moves forward, someone wearing camo clothes passes behind him, following him. The instructor is shocked that the Ghost has not engaged the group. Team 1 checks a staircase and corresponds with Team 2, telling them they are clear. However, the situation takes a drastic turn when a mercenary named Abyss Walker, who is following Ghost, appears and kills the designated Ghost. He then proceeds to kill the member of Team 1 who just checked the stairs. The instructor sees them losing the signal on the laptop and is worried. He picks up his walkie-talkie and asks Ghost what's the matter, but Ghost is already dead and can't answer. The teams continue to patrol the building, and 2 other soldiers get picked by Abyss Walker. The instructor watches Abyss Walker picking up the soldiers. Abyss Walker is using a unique curved dagger, and he keeps on killing soldiers. Working through shadows and one by one, he finishes a whole team. The instructor gives them the command to return, stating that the mission is compromised and someone has infiltrated the facility. The groups start to move back, and this leads Abyss Walker to change his tactical style. From a deadly, silent, and slow stalking killer, he shifts to a fast-paced ambush hunter. He quickly ambushes the remaining team heads-on, and despite being outnumbered, he kills them with his superior skills. The instructor, after getting no response from his soldiers, gets in the building and looks around. As he is looking around, Abyss Walker comes up behind him and kills him by cutting his throat. The scene then shifts to an 8-year-old girl named Sashi, who lives with her uncle Toshiro Kuroda. For Sashi, her uncle is the legendary Ghost. She is walking on a long road, wearing a yellow raincoat, when she comes across a dead cat that is overrun by a car. Distinct from other girls her age, Sashi's life is influenced by Toshiro Kuroda. She picks up the dead cat she finds on the road and starts to carry it. Sashi continues walking. Some other girls come from behind. They ask her what she is carrying, and seeing the cat, they feel disgusted and call her gross before continuing to run. Sashi's coat gets dirty with the blood of the cat. Sashi arrives at a beach and buries the cat. She then walks away with her coat still bloodied, and she arrives in front of a store. She takes her coat off and leaves it outside before getting in the store. The lights are off, and she starts to look around, but there is no one in the store. As she is looking around, suddenly a man appears behind her. She turns to look around, and we learn that this man is her uncle, Toshiro Kuroda. He owns and operates this store, and Sashi is his only relative. She moves forward and hugs him. He hugs her and tells her that he has to change the lights. He then changes the light, and they close the store. She puts up a sign on the store's door stating that they are on break. Toshiro Kuroda takes Sashi to a convenience store and gets her bento. She eats as they watch TV together. The storekeeper Tsuno arrives and talks with Sashi and then asks Toshiro Kuroda if he wants something, but he refuses. Tsuno then picks up some shuriken and shows Sashi a new board he has put in the shop and throws a shuriken at it. Everyone present in the store claps, and Sashi cheers for him. Later, Sashi is sleeping in her bed while Toshiro Kuroda is sitting near her, watching TV as he can't go to sleep. There are a lot of pills lying around, and he picks up a container and takes some pills from it. There are a lot of marks on his arms, which have formed by the healing of cuts. These marks are reminiscent of his past. Toshiro Kuroda gets up and goes out. He goes to his store and opens the store. He is heating some food for a customer when something strange happens. He hears a popping sound coming from the microwave, and this triggers memories of his old days. He starts to hear gunshots, and his arms relax as his basic instincts take over him rather than his rational mind. He has flashbacks of his days working as a mercenary alongside Abyss Walker. As the customer tries to get his attention and calls his name, He turns around quickly, scaring the customer, but he keeps his composure and does not attack him. He takes out the heated food, gives it to the customer, and wishes him a good night. Toshiro Kuroda is having a problem during the night. He is haunted by dreams of his past on the battlefield, resulting in a lack of rest. Consequently, he operates his store during nighttime hours. Meanwhile, Sashi spends her nights reading books about legends and the legendary ghost. To overcome his nightmares, Toshiro decides to seek help from a psychiatrist. During his sessions, he reveals that in his nightmares, he sees himself in a jungle where he brutally kills people, and he fears that his killer instinct may become problematic for him. The psychiatrist assures him that such dreams are relatively normal. Toshiro recalls advising Sashi to strengthen her mind, inspired by the legend of the ghost so that she can endure any challenges that may come her way. He gave Sashi the book about the ghost that she always carries with her. Toshiro Kuroda makes a determined effort to resist his instinct. One day, while in his store, a thief enters and demands money. Instead of engaging in a confrontation, Toshiro Kuroda calmly hands over all the money and even expresses gratitude to the thief. Every weekend, Toshiro Kuroda and Sashi visit Toshiro Kuroda's old friend Kenji Makabe at the hospital. Kenji Makabe had saved Toshiro Kuroda from a bomb during the war, but the explosion left him blind and paralyzed, confined to a wheelchair for the rest of his life. One day while returning after visiting Kenji Makabe, Toshiro senses something amiss. So he sends Sashi home and goes out. As he reaches the road, two killers are lying in wait. One attempts to attack Toshiro Kuroda from behind, but he manages to overcome and kill him. The other assailant starts shooting at him. Toshiro Kuroda successfully eliminates the hitman using a fountain pen, with Abyss Walker, his wartime partner, present and witnessing the event. Subsequently, Phantom, the mastermind behind the assassination, makes an appearance. Phantom pats Sashi's head before departing. Phantom then assigns the task of killing Toshiro Kuroda to a lady assassin named Newt. When questioned by Phantom's assistant, Casper, about why Phantom didn't personally carry out the killing, Phantom reveals a desire to witness Toshiro Kuroda in extreme pain. He knows that only Abyss Walker, who has similar skills to Toshiro Kuroda, can kill him. We learn that the task force has already declared Toshiro Kuroda dead. During Toshiro Kuroda's subsequent session with the psychiatrist, he reveals that he feels normal and relaxed when facing danger. The psychiatrist conducts an exercise where she points her finger at Toshiro Kuroda's forehead, asking him to imagine it as a gun. In a moment, Toshiro Kuroda disappears from in front of her and reappears at her side, informing her that in that short span, he could have already killed her. Later, Toshiro Kuroda and Sashi enjoy dinner at a friend's bar. Sensing danger, Toshiro Kuroda leaves Sashi at the bar and steps outside onto the streets. In two separate encounters on the streets, assassins target Toshiro Kuroda, but he easily dispatches them. Returning to his store, more assassins attempt an attack only to meet the same fate. Following this, two individuals named Mac and Max enter the store, claiming that Kenji Makabe sent them to assist Toshiro Kuroda. However, he dismisses their offer, stating that he doesn't need any help. Kenji Makabe, upon learning about this, becomes angry with Mac and Max. Observing the failure of his assassins, Phantom grows furious and instructs Newt to kill Toshiro Kuroda. Toshiro Kuroda, standing in a phone booth, faces an attack from Newt. But his exceptional training enables him to counter and defeat her. Toshiro Kuroda proceeds to the hospital to meet Kenji Makabe, who urges him to accept help, but Toshiro Kuroda refuses. Kenji Makabe then proposes that Toshiro Kuroda join him on a mission, but once again, Toshiro Kuroda declines and departs. Mac and Max reveal that Phantom used to be Toshiro Kuroda's boss, and Toshiro Kuroda severed ties with him upon discovering that Phantom had brainwashed children, turning them into ruthless killers who would obey Phantom's orders to kill anyone. This revelation prompts Toshiro Kuroda to distance himself from Phantom. In retaliation, Phantom places a bomb to eliminate Toshiro Kuroda. Although Toshiro Kuroda manages to survive by faking his death, Phantom, after 3 years, learns of Toshiro Kuroda's survival and harbors a renewed desire to kill him. Phantom receives a call from Abyss Walker, who instructs him to cease pursuing Toshiro Kuroda, as Toshiro Kuroda is now Abyss Walker's target. Phantom is aware of the formidable skills possessed by Abyss Walker, which make him a credible threat to Toshiro Kuroda. The following day, Casper kidnaps Sashi, and Max contacts Toshiro Kuroda to inform him about Sashi's abduction. However, Toshiro Kuroda reveals that he was already aware of Sashi's kidnapping, as it was part of his plan. The book about the legend that Sashi reads contains a GPS tracker, enabling Toshiro Kuroda, Max, and Mac to trace the location where Phantom has kept Sashi. During a conversation between Phantom and Sashi, it is revealed that Phantom wanted to brainwash Sashi, to turn her into a brutal killer. Toshiro Kuroda manages to escape with Sashi, leading to Phantom considering Toshiro Kuroda as his enemy due to this interference. Phantom's intense desire to kill Toshiro Kuroda stems from his impending death due to a terminal illness. Toshiro Kuroda, along with Mac and Max, arrives at Phantom's base, which is heavily guarded by Phantom's soldiers. A fierce battle ensues, as Toshiro Kuroda and his team systematically eliminate Phantom's soldiers. Abyss Walker also joins the fight, contributing to the chaos by taking down Phantom's forces. Casper enters the scene and engages in combat with Mac, ultimately killing him. Observing Mac's demise, Toshiro Kuroda becomes enraged and confronts Casper. In a surprising turn of events, Casper reveals a bomb hidden in her jacket and attempts to detonate it by hugging Toshiro Kuroda. However, Toshiro Kuroda, quick on his feet, manages to cut the wire, preventing the explosion. Seizing the opportunity, Toshiro Kuroda retaliates and kills Casper. Utilizing his special weapon, he continues to eliminate the remaining soldiers in Phantom's base. Toshiro Kuroda becomes aware of Abyss Walker's presence, prompting a revelation about why Abyss Walker harbors a desire to kill him. Toshiro Kuroda and Abyss Walker were once a team, but their paths diverged when Toshiro Kuroda sought Abyss Walker's assistance to save the children. Abyss Walker, prioritizing his mission, refused to help, leading to a rift between them. Toshiro Kuroda's decision to go against Abyss Walker and leave him fueled Abyss Walker's resentment, and now he seeks revenge by targeting Toshiro Kuroda. Phantom takes a moment to explain to Sashi why he refers to Toshiro Kuroda as a ghost. In Japanese folklore, there was a soldier who was killed and later reborn, participating in numerous wars. This soldier possessed the ability to attack with the speed of light, much like Toshiro Kuroda's swift and formidable combat skills. The reference to this mythical figure explains the moniker Ghost attributed to Toshiro Kuroda. In a climactic confrontation, Toshiro Kuroda reaches the room where Sashi is held captive. Despite Toshiro Kuroda's insistence for Sashi to go with Max to safety, Sashi expresses that she has a feeling that if Toshiro Kuroda leaves today, he may never return. Touched by her concern, Toshiro Kuroda promises Sashi that he will come back, and she leaves with Max. Toshiro Kuroda continues to battle the remaining soldiers of Phantom, and the showdown intensifies when Abyss Walker joins the fray, eliminating the soldiers together. With only Toshiro Kuroda and Abyss Walker remaining, a fierce one-on-one combat ensues. Abyss Walker gains the upper hand, severely beating Toshiro Kuroda. However, Toshiro Kuroda seizes an opportunity, delivering a powerful blow that incapacitates Abyss Walker. In the end, Toshiro Kuroda emerges victorious, defeating Abyss Walker and exiting the building. The story reaches a poignant climax as Toshiro Kuroda confronts Phantom outside the building. Toshiro Kuroda, acknowledging his inability to keep his promise to Sashi, finds himself facing the very figure who shaped him into the skilled warrior he became. Phantom informs Toshiro Kuroda that he is no longer a ghost, but a mere shadow of himself, destined to be forgotten by everyone. Despite their weakened states, Toshiro Kuroda and Phantom prepare for a final confrontation. It is during this intense moment that the shocking revelation is unveiled. Sashi is Toshiro Kuroda's daughter. Phantom, poised to harm Toshiro Kuroda, is ultimately overpowered, and Toshiro Kuroda successfully kills Phantom. However, the victory comes at a cost, as Toshiro Kuroda sustains a fatal injury to his throat during the struggle. As Toshiro Kuroda takes a few steps forward, he reflects on his life and expresses regret that his daughter never referred to him as father. Toshiro Kuroda succumbs to his injuries. Then we see Sashi with Max, and now Max takes care of her, and she buries the book her father gave her. Far away we see a man watching her, and he lights a cigarette. He looks like Toshiro Kuroda. So has he come back as the legend Ghost? This is where the movie ends.
Remember to subscribe and turn on notifications, so you can watch more movies like this. Thanks for watching.